be drinking, Chris? What kind?
Fig.
Fig?
Fig.
All righty, everyone, we are going live. We have some amazing individuals that's here and to join us. And I want to definitely make sure that you know exactly who these two amazing individuals are. But they're entrepreneurs that are in two totally different states. But My City, My Biz Live magazine, we're welcoming these two amazing gentlemen with some great energy. Quite sure that you will be able to say the same as well. But definitely My City, My Biz is an actual offline event that we made online so that we can continue to highlight and to really bring those emerging entrepreneurs to the forefront. And so that's what we're doing today. We're here to revive our economy and our communities one entrepreneur at a time. And guess what? These individuals here, they've been able to educate me so much on the subject that they're coming here to talk to us about today. So they're going to explain to us the difference between the Dream Keto versus the keto diet. But I want for you guys to go ahead and to hold on real tight as I go ahead and bring up these two amazing individuals from Pruvit. One of them is Josh, the other one is Christopher. How are you gentlemen doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you. And so if you can share with us, first of all, your first and last name, because I did not put that out there if you would like to, but also who are you? Who are you and what company is it today that you're getting ready to represent with us?
Great. Chris, would you like to start or would you like me to?
Go ahead, Josh.
Okay. So my name is Josh Rapkin. I'm with Pruvit, as Shantina said. And first of all, thank you so much, Shantina, for having us and also for everything that you're doing. I mean, I think now more than ever, the importance and value to creating additional opportunities for people has never been more important. So appreciate all the work that you're doing.
You're wonderful.
A little bit about myself. I live in Florida, Ormond Beach, happily married. My wife, Andrea. I have two sons, Alex and Max, who are 9 and just about 13. I found Pruvit about 4.5 years ago, or maybe Pruvit found me. Either way, it's been a tremendous experience that I'm super grateful for. When I first got introduced to Pruvit, I was 350 pounds, so 120 pounds heavier than I am now. Had been through some pretty rough stuff in life, had lost a fortune in real estate, was kind of really just going through the motions at that point and just needed something to change. And this became the catalyst to so much. And I'll get more into that, but Chris, you can go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
So about 3 years ago, I got introduced to Josh, and a friend of mine from Madison came down for lunch and says, "Hey, I'm going over to a buddy's house in West Dallas, right, not too far from you. You want to meet us over there?" I said, "Sure, absolutely." So I get over there and I meet Josh, and he says, the question that we've all asked, what do you know about ketones or ketosis? And I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a ketone was. And he says, "Here, try this out." And he grabbed a shaker like this one and put a packet of powder in there, shook it up with some water and said, "Here, take this and drink it." And I drank it. And about an hour later, I just felt fantastic. I had one of those product experiences that the energy boost that I got was like, whoa, where did I get this from? So I got a 5-day test, a 5-day experience from Josh. Mm-hmm. And kind of like everybody else that goes along with this process, I drank them and I ran out and I didn't set up my online order, which was silly. I look back at this and I laugh, but everybody does the same thing. I still have people doing it. But so then I'm calling Josh, and he actually lived in the area at the time.
Okay.
And I'm meeting him at a park and ride with $30 in my hand on a Friday afternoon to get more of this stuff. And it's the first time that I think I've ever met anybody at a park and ride with $30 in my hand on a Friday for something that was really good for me and legal. And so long story short, I got introduced to Josh. I started drinking ketones, and in a couple of weeks, I started noticing some changes physically to my body. I started experiencing some fat loss. And then I was like, wow, if just drinking ketones does this to me, what happens if I change what I'm eating? What happens if I take out the carbs? What if I take out the sugar? What if I take out some of this other stuff? So these small pursuits of better is what really got me in, and then the community of people that I got to meet along the way. It's really a really great community of people. I can't say enough about that. So that's how I got introduced to Pruvit and the Ketone Conversation through Josh.
Wow. Well, look at there. I mean, totally amazing. And so I know you guys are probably like wondering, what was I doing? I was making sure that this was shared to all of the platforms necessary, because I want so many people to really be able to get this and be educated about it. I received some messages in reference to just you, even with your title, because people do, even myself, you don't know the difference between the keto drink as well as just being able to the keto diet. So I really looking forward to the ketones to be able to be educated about that, see that there is any hope. But I'm quite sure that the both of you probably can even vouch for the fact that Chris as well as Josh has your income been interrupted right now? Like
that I think for a lot of reasons people may not have been open to looking at.
Right.
Now, because of the situation, are becoming they have more time, less static, less things going on in their life, but also have come to a realization that, hey, maybe a side hustle isn't such a bad thing. And that's all it has to be, right? I mean, it's a volunteer army. It's not getting another job. It's not hiring another boss. It's figuring out what you can create in your spare time to create leverage and additional income to create a lifestyle. Not making a living, but let's create a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so it gives me a lot of pride. And it's funny because I talk to a lot of people and, how are you doing? I'm like, man, I'm amazing. And you get like this pause. And I almost feel guilty because I am aware of the environment of what's going on in the world. But the truth is, like, we're doing really amazing. Yes, we're aware and know what's going on. But at the same time, you have to be willing to kind of draw a circle around yourself or your people, your house, your family, and focus on the things that are important, the things that are in your control. And I think many, many people will come through this better than they came into it if they're willing to open up a little bit. And it doesn't have to, I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing. I'm not saying you have to do what anybody else is doing. But my point is do something. Like start looking at things through a different lens and start understanding that through these times, which could appear as very challenging, you can also create an infinite pathway. Like in every moment, there's infinite opportunity. It's just up to you to be open enough to be able to decide what might be a good fit for you.
Wow.
And my biggest encouragement around that, because I get asked this a lot, and I tell people, look, if it's not what I'm doing, that's okay, but find something.
Yeah.
Everybody gets started somewhere between scared and nervous, and that's okay. I did too. When I got started with this, I was a guy at the grocery store with a calculator who still couldn't get it right and was putting things back at the checkout. Things are much, much different for us now, but it started with, for me, finding something that I was passionate about that made a big difference for me. I didn't even go into it with a business mindset or mentality. And some people do, and that's great. I just found something that was super cool that made a huge impact, and I couldn't help but want to tell some people, which flash forward 4.5 years later has turned into a team of over 30,000 people internationally. So it's pretty cool the way it's worked out for sure. But one thing I know is if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I didn't have any secret sauce or any special skills or talents.
Yeah.
So my encouragement is for people to be more open, take a look at some different things, and then find what connects with you and what you think you can take forward to make a difference, as opposed to trying to figure out how to. I say a lot of times, like a big distinction for me was consumption versus contribution. Contribution means you're giving, consumption means you're consuming. Mm-hmm. So when you enter into things with a consumption mindset and a what's in it for me, or what can I get out of this, or how can I get a sale, it's never as powerful or impactful or as natural as when you enter into things with what do I have to offer, what do I have to bring forward. And it's one of the things I'm most proud about. And we can get more into it. Our technology is next level, and I'd for sure love to explain that a little bit as far as drinkable ketones.
Okay.
Our community is extremely empowering, and I'm extremely, I have so many people in our business that might not be making the money they hope to be making yet, but because they're plugged into a group of like-minded people who are certain and moving forward, it's really helped carry them through this time where many others are just have uncertainty to grasp onto. And then, of course, the financial impact is massive. So those are all some different areas I'd love to talk more about, but wherever you guys want to take it, I'm happy to try to add some value.
Wow, that's awesome. Wow, thank you so very much. Because it is these are times that people really do not know exactly which direction to go. And so for you to have a solution, and that's what we're going to talk about, not only from the health wise, but also from the wealth wise. So I am getting ready to hand this right over to you, gentlemen, and so that you can go ahead and do what you do best, and that's educate the entire community and the world in reference to Pruvit. All right. Thank you so very much.
Great. Thank you so much.
So I guess, Josh, one of the questions that everybody always has is, what the heck is a ketone?
Great question. So this is ketones. We have a bunch of different flavors. Basically, a lot of people are familiar with the keto diet, right? So if you do the keto diet perfectly, or if you starve yourself, which I don't recommend, your body will start to produce ketones, more specifically your liver. Many people have sort of tried this diet or have a lot of misconceptions around the diet. It's challenging to do it well enough for long enough to make any real progress. So Pruvit was the first to bring to market a consumable exogenous ketone. I can empty this packet, which I'll do in a second, into some water and drink it, and within 30 minutes, I'll be in measurable ketosis. And what does that mean? It means that I can either, forgive me, but pee on a strip that'll tell you, and if you've ever tried it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the most frustrating thing when you're trying to do the diet and get the stick to go to purple. Or we actually have, or they actually have a blood meter, which you can test your level of ketones. So you don't have to take my word for it. You can drink one sample of this, test yourself 30 minutes later and see that you're in ketosis. What does ketosis mean, other than what most people think about weight loss and stuff and body composition? And yes, it's great for that. I mean, like I said, I lost 120 pounds and I've personally helped thousands of people have amazing success around weight loss and body composition and a lot of other goals. But ketones also have tremendous appetite control. They have amazing focus, the energy. We could go on for 6 hours, and we won't, about the science around ketones. I would encourage any of you, by the way, after this, if you're curious, we'll give you some resources, some things you can check out, some things you can plug into, but just even go outside of that to Google ketones and any disease that you can think of, any condition that you can think of, from Alzheimer's to cancer to, and I'm not making medical claims, I'm just directing you to the fact that there's a tremendous amount of science and research around the benefits of ketones. Knowing what I know, I've lost the weight that I wanted to lose, I'll continue to drink ketones for the rest of my life. A, because I love the way they make me feel. B, because it's easy. I just rip it and sip it. And C, because I know all of the things that ketones are providing to my body, even on a cellular level. So if you want to dive in any deeper on any of that, but the big distinction is you don't have to do the diet to have ketones in your body. You don't have to, the old sort of paradigm of you're either, before this product, you could not be in ketosis if you had any carbs or glucose in your system. It would take you days to get shipped into ketosis. And as soon as you had over 20 grams of carbs, maybe a big apple, for example, you were out. With this drink, you can literally be in ketosis on demand, and it actually, the body can now utilize them as a dual fuel. So you can have carbohydrates and ketones working side by side, and there's a lot of different applications, performance, athletics. So is that helpful?
That is super helpful. So what kind of dietary changes did you make when drinking ketones to have all of that success with losing the 120 pounds, Josh? What did you do?
So to start, just started drinking ketones. Like, first, let me tell you something. I've done every diet. I challenge you. You cannot name a diet I haven't tried. Over the last decade, I've probably lost and gained 1,000 pounds, right? But it was always a short-term fix, and everything that was lost came back with a few friends and lose 10, gain 15. It was just the circle of insanity. With ketones, I just started drinking ketones. And actually, funny enough, when I first brought it in my house, my wife rolled her eyes at me, kind of like, she didn't call me a fat ass, but like, what's this? Because I had brought everything you could ever imagine into the house. But even before the weight started falling off, like within the first couple of days, like it was an immediate shift. Like I came on, the lights came on. and I was off the couch. I was doing stuff. But when I found this, by the way, not only was I 120 pounds heavier, but I had lost a fortune in real estate. I had been in the nightclub business. I literally didn't get off the couch much. I was in a very depressive state, and I was a much, much different person. And so this like lit me up. And then, you know, she started to notice, she started to see me come online. She started sneaking them behind my back. And now she's been drinking them every day for 4+ years too, and had a completely different experience because she didn't have weight to lose. But to answer your question, I started drinking ketones daily. And then I just started trying to be mindful of not being on a diet, but excluding stuff. You know, I tell people all the time, I love drinking ketones or having ketones to offer people because it meets anybody where they're at and gives them a pathway to move forward. I jokingly call it willpower because it gives you the tools without having to think about it. It helps your appetite, it helps you feel better, your mood's better, your focus, your energy. So you start making better decisions without having to be so stressed out about it. And it's extremely forgiving. So a slip doesn't have to turn into a slide. And if you've been on a diet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then it just became trying to get incremental, like a little bit better every day. We say 1% better every day. So if somebody's drinking 5 sodas a day, I'm not going to tell them to stop drinking soda. I'm going to tell them to start drinking ketones. And then like by next week, let's see if we can get it down to 4 sodas a day. I mean, it sounds silly, but that's the stuff that sets people up for a long-term lifestyle type win versus a couple week or couple month weight loss. So number one, drinking ketones daily. Number two, people ask, oh, do you work out a lot? You know, because I've added some muscle and got it in pretty good shape. The truth is back then I was too embarrassed to walk into a gym. I was out of breath tying my shoe. So working out looked like walking. Started with 10 minutes, 1% better every day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Did I go on a diet? No, I started taking out sodas, sugars. Like, so what I'm telling you is it was a very, like an escalator approach to better health that I could sustain and didn't have to feel like I was taking on something that was overwhelming, or God forbid, if I messed up, would have to spiral into, you know, sort of a backslide.
Wow, that, you know, that's an amazing way to break it down because you know, when I got started, I didn't think I needed to lose any weight. I was 181 pounds. I was built by Miller Genuine Draft and cheese. But you know, I really got the energy boost from it, and the fat loss was kind of a bonus. And then I kind of like you, I made those small incremental changes. I cut soda out and I cut sugar out.
By the way, I'm demonstrating how to get into ketosis while you're talking.
I love it. And then what flavor is that?
This is fig roll.
That's the same one I put in my shaker today too.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. Great minds think alike. You know, talk about the community a little bit. So that's one of the things that really got me in, because it's like, I guess people look at this and they're like, well, can I do it? Well, if you've got an esophagus, you're qualified to drink ketones.
Correct.
Will you help me? And what kind of support is there is a question that I get a lot. And what can you say about the community a little bit, Josh?
So, and there's a couple different layers to it, right? But as a customer, another thing that I'm extremely proud of is it's not just here, drink the ketones, good luck. We have so much built-in support. We have Facebook groups, we have interactive go guides, we have workout plans, we have dietary recommendations. Some people want to go on a more specific diet or have more specific goals. Like, I look at it as kind of a good, better, best model. Good is drinking ketones every day. You're already light years ahead of if you weren't. Better is starting to pull back on some carbs and sugar. Best is, you know, a healthier whole food diet with more movement and exercise. So there's all different places you can fit in, but we have created so many resources. We have Pruvit TV, we have the 8-week challenge. All these things are given to people free as additional resources and support and education. They can take as much or as little of it as they like, but the goal isn't to have a transactional business. Like, the goal isn't to sell people ketones. The goal is to help people becoming the best versions of themselves. And also, by the way, to be in pursuit of being the best version of yourself, which is what inspires others to do the same. So it's really, we talk a lot about residual income, which is great, and we can definitely get into that too. But residual impact is really the premise of, I think, why we've had so much success. And it's not about getting a transaction or a sale. It's about helping people get to where they want to go and giving them a platform to plug into with the support and the tools and resources to make that, you know, as easy as possible.
Yeah, great. Let's, so for people to get involved, so, we've kind of given them a breakdown what a ketone is, what drinkable ketones versus the keto diet. I mean, it's been a game changer for me. It's been a game changer for you. How many people have you helped? How many people are on your team?
I would have to look, but over 30,000. And literally what started with me having a good experience, my wife sneaking up behind my back, telling a couple friends who told a couple, like, it just grew and grew and grew. And so now it's turned into a massive business. I'm so, like, I look at it on a couple levels. One is like the product, the tip of the spear. Like what that did for me is enough. You know, it changed my life completely. It's made me a better father, a better husband, a better human being. It's given me a much longer life, I'm sure, taking a lot of weight off. And then there was this community that you touched on, and all the support and education and being plugged into a bigger purpose was massive. And then the business opportunity came into it, and it's taken us to a place financially that I would have never, ever dreamt of. But more importantly, given us a platform to take something of value into the community. I'm a guy who has had different levels of success my whole life, but I was always hustling and chasing money and putting deals together. And I could always kind of figure it out, but I never came from a place of contribution. It was always consumption. And so the thing that I'm most proud of or most grateful for is the ability and the opportunity to truly have something of value to take out into the community. And it's really what gets me up in the morning. I mean, my check's big enough that if I don't want to get up and go to work today, I don't have to, and that's great. But the idea that I might be able to touch and impact somebody, that I can't help but getting up and being excited about that. I mean, over the last 4.5 years, I've collected thousands of stories, texts and calls and hugs, and people whose lives have been dramatically shifted and changed because of ketones and Pruvit and the business and the community and the product. And that's something I just can't turn off. So I probably didn't answer your question at all, but I get a little excited.
It's been pretty amazing because I've watched the journey, a bunch of different people around and local people in the community, and I've got a team of people myself, 31 customers and 2 promoters, and it just kind of happened by accident for me. I was more on purpose with having the product experience. For me was like the amazing part, and then the rest of it just fell into place. A lot of people are probably curious about the cost of ketones, and I know that there's programs that you can talk about where people can get in, get free ketones, and there's also the business side of it too. And there's an amazing promotion going on right now to help out with the current state of affairs with the COVID-19 and all the stuff that's going on. Maybe you can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, now I kind of know what your question was to begin with. It was the different ways that people could experience ketones and get involved. So let me just kind of give you a broad brush, and then we can go, dive into anything specifically. The different ways that you can become a customer, which right now we have an unbelievable program that we rolled out a few months ago called the Drink Ketones Challenge, and it's $99, and you get 20 servings of ketones. The recommendation is to have it twice a day for 10 days. I will tell you, some people choose to do it once a day for 20. That's completely up to you. That also comes with a lot of the things that I was talking about: the community, the support, the 8-week programming, the diet, the exercise, celebrity coaching, all that stuff. So that's a really great way to get started, right? Also, if somebody just wants to kind of dip their toe in the water, we do also sell 5 and 10 day trial experiences. Honestly, the price point is much better on the challenge, and maybe we can share some links and resources on how people can connect to that before we get off. But then once somebody becomes a customer, the next thing is you can become what's called a Smart Ship customer. With us, our Smart Ship program is you can cancel at any time. There's no obligation, or you don't have to sign up in blood to get out of it. It's actually quite simple. It's a push of a button. It gives you an ongoing 22% discount. And every 4th month as a loyalty reward, the company will send you an extra box for free, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Probably the best part about being a Smart Ship customer is if you refer 2 others, you actually get your monthly order for free. You do pay the shipping and tax, so like 12 bucks. So when people ask, well, how much does it cost to drink ketones? And I'll give my wife credit for this answer. It's between free and the cost of a fast food lunch. Most people are drinking them for free, and the free ones for sure taste better. But if you were paying full price because you didn't want to help anybody else, then I would tell you it'd be about $5 a serving. Now, an important thing to consider in that also, and I won't say that it's a net replacement, but when you're drinking ketones, you will realize other savings in a monthly budget. Your food costs are going to go down. Spending on other energy type products are going to go down. So it's something to consider. The truth is, the $99 10-day challenge is the best way for anybody who's curious to start, because at the end of that period, you will know without a doubt if it's a good thing. This isn't something you can just kind of believe in the science, which there's plenty of, and take for months and kind of hope in the background something's happening. You will know rather quickly that you're feeling better, that your energy's better, that your focus is better. I mean, for me, it was like a windshield wiper went across my brain. I was like, holy smokes. Somebody went from black and white to color. But the 10-day is a great evaluation period, and it's loaded with resources so people can get a much better understanding of what this really is. So I think that's a great starting point. And then to speak to your other question, you can also become what we call a prover or a promoter, which the only differentiator between a promoter and a customer, is both can earn the product for free, is that a promoter can actually earn money for their referrals as well. So what's really, really cool, all this stuff happened over the last couple months, and as a company, we proactively wanted to kind of come up with our own stimulus package, if you will. So we created the $1 Keto Club, where you could become a promoter for $1 and actually get the starter promoter pack at almost 50% off.
Wow.
So what it's doing is it's giving people an opportunity to get themselves product at almost half off, get in the business, and then on top of it, we've actually doubled our MVP bonus. So we have some starter bonuses, as you know, that when somebody first starts, it gives them a chance to be ahead, to be plus, to have some extra money in their hand. So currently, the way that it would work, or the way that it would look, is you join for $1, you get your starter pack, which is it's 40% off. You could turn around and sell some of that in samples, as we talked about. So you already would be ahead and have some cash in your pocket, because you'd be selling it for full price, not the discounted price. And then if you hit MVP within your first month, there's like an extra $1,500 in cash, extra cash bonuses month 1, fast start stuff. So people are going crazy because not everybody, but a lot of people are realizing like it's not a bad idea to have a side hustle or an opportunity to put some extra cash together. And this is a very low cost point of entry where you can create some good money rather quickly. And so it's been going crazy.
Wow. Absolutely amazing.
And by the way, just to be clear, that specific promotion that I'm referencing goes until this Sunday. That's been going for like 3 or 4 weeks already. So that when I'm speaking, it goes into the Sunday. The challenge and the customer stuff is indefinite, or won't be ending anytime soon. The $1 Keto Club and the special incentives and bonuses, as of now, are ending Sunday.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Some of the people have asked me about the Keto Reboot. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, the ketones are really our flagship tip of the spear product. It's where everybody should start. It's really, it's the bang for the buck. It's the star of the show. So, but we have built around it some support products. We have a keto cream, which is like a bulletproof coffee or a fat coffee for people that are aware of kind of what that is, but in a simple serving, you just open and stir into your coffee instead of oil and butter and blenders. And some people are probably like, what is he talking about? We have a ready to drink ketone product now called Keto Up, which comes in a can and you just pop it and drink it. We have a keto bone broth. We have a few different things. The Keto Reboot is one of them, and it's something that we do as a community. It's a 60-hour fast, but instead of having to just drink water and fast, it actually is a box of products. It's ketones, it's the keto bone broth, And it's a way for you to get through that 60 hours with the additional energy to make it much, much easier. However, still getting all the benefits of being fasted for 60 hours. And again, we could talk for hours about what are those benefits. I mean, there's the easy to think of, like lose the fluff and kind of restart the body and get a really good metabolic reset. But there's actually much, much more important reasons. And I would encourage any of you, again, to just start Googling fasting, 60-hour fast, autophagy, that gives the body a chance to actually turn over some cells and for new cells to be born. The immune system is stimulated. It's a really, really great strategy. So as a community, we reboot monthly. Our saying is drink ketones daily, reboot monthly, and do the best you can in between. I think this month will be like my 26th month. The first time I thought about doing a 60-hour fast, I thought that's insane. Like I didn't think I could make it a couple hours without eating. But now it's something I really look forward to, and it's made a massive, massive impact. So it's just another, product entry that we have in our line to help people take them through something and give them massive, massive benefits, but make it as easy as possible.
Awesome. It's been a game changer for a lot of folks. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit. So international now. Right?
Yeah. So Pruvit is currently in the US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, several countries in Southeast Asia, and we're super, super excited to be launching the entire EU and UK. It was actually going to be April 1, but due to the coronavirus and some of the things that are going on, it's been pushed to June 1. But it's really exciting. Like the growth is exponential. Ketones are for anybody from womb to tomb. Doesn't matter nationality, where you live, your age. My 96-year-old grandmother drinks them. My kids drink them. I have pro athletes drinking them. Like anybody can benefit from ketones. I mean, you take your average person, forget about weight loss, forget about performance, all these other things, but just give somebody 10% better in their day, more energy to play with their kids at the end of the day, or maybe that their kids aren't driving them quite as nuts now that we're all locked up together, because you feel a little bit better. Like, what is that worth to somebody? And my encouragement would be just to find out, and it's pretty easy, but get a challenge and just see how it is for you. If you have more questions about the product or the business, hopefully we can give you some offline resources to connect with us. Share a couple links, or you can find me on Instagram. It's jraps3. But I'm not sure. I'm sure Shantina has a way that we can share some different resources. But I would love to connect with anybody that has any questions about any of this stuff.
Okay, let me get this back on. All right. Okay, so you guys are all wrapped up, and we have been able to know the difference between the ketones, the ketosis, all of those amazing things and words that people usually just throw around. So I would say also, you know what? I want to be able to ask Chris as well. But first of all, thank you both for being able to come on. Just amazing. And you are quite amazing. I know to be able to take a little bit of your time, Josh, was truly just, it was a gift to us. And I do not take that lightly. I thank you so very much for all that you do, for leading individuals into maybe their very first step into entrepreneurship, but also being able to have them to redream again, and then being transparent about sharing your story and your journey. And so I just thank you. And then also, Chris, if you can let us know in reference to you're actually a part of Josh's organization. So what do you think has been the most profound thing that you've been able to say about the relationship that the both of you created through this here business?
Wow. Well, we went from complete strangers to, knowing each other really well. I mean, it's been an honor to work with Josh on and the Pruvit community on the ketones. And I mean, it's done a lot of things. I mean, it's completely, it's like when you throw a rock in the pond and the ripple and the farther out it goes, to see the effect that it's had on other people's lives and stuff is simply amazing. But the journey has been awesome. I mean, I can't say enough things about Pruvit. I hear, I get the same questions on a regular basis. Well, there's other products out there. Why should I choose Pruvit? And they really are the category king when it comes to the ketone conversation. I mean, they championed that ketone conversation, and I got to thank Shane Wagner for introducing me to Josh. I mean, that one introduction, it's amazing how you meet one person and that one introduction can change the complete trajectory of what you do.
Exactly. Wow, that is that residual effect. I'm quite sure we all can attest to that. And so I know you were speaking about, I actually had the opportunity to go to a keto party and it was amazing. Josh was there, you were there, and it was awesome. And so do you think that could be something where people can order their, to be invited to an online party, they order their actual product and we show up online to be able to go ahead and begin to test it out? And I know that this has a poll where we can be able to see what people's thoughts are and, just really, really be able to really engage. So I would love to be able to see how we could pull like that something together and to be able to make it happen.
I would love to. That'd be wonderful.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you both so very much for all that you do in the emerging business community, in that space of home-based businesses. We are truly thankful, and I'll make sure that I get the links to you guys' website so that way people can be able to connect, also ask questions, because like I said, it's shared on different platforms. So I know as far as social media management, that's what I'm trying to make it. It's a lot going on, but I didn't want this to stop that, the movement that we have. And so as I'm collecting that information, I'll be getting that over to you all, but as well as to make sure that that link is there so people can know how to really reach out to you for the days, the weeks, the months, and things like that to come.
Great. And thank you again so much for all that you're doing for the community. And it's really good to see that even in this time that you were able to transition and still continue to add value. And I'm just constantly impressed and inspired by the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you so much. Yep. So have a great, fantastic, and amazing afternoon. And I look forward to seeing you guys somewhere in those virtual ketosis streets, right? All righty. Have a great one. Thank you.
Bye.
All righty, everyone. So we have had the opportunity to listen to Chris and Josh of Pruvit. That's right. They are proving it. And you've heard exactly how that has been able to transform their lives, their lifestyles. So definitely make sure that you reach out to them if that sounds like a product you are interested in. I am Shantina Gladney on the behalf of our sponsor, SGGN Group, which is the Entrepreneur Society. That is correct. And so that definitely is a lifestyle and business network society for those emerging entrepreneurs. You can join them at www.sgngroup.com. We are signing out off of My City, My Biz Live magazine today. And like I said, for our amazing guests that were on here today, Josh and Chris, we truly thank you. Make sure that you do connect with them. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great, fantastic, and amazing, amazing day.